Chauncey called that a piece of art. How is basketball art to you?
Um, I would say it's art to me because there's so many things that go on, within the team, within the game, within the season, that, it's a million words for it. It's a lot of ways to describe it. There's a lot of things that go into it. Um, there's a lot of, I would say, pain, a lot of work. A lot of things go into everything that happens. And everybody feels a different way about, what's happening, what they see. And I would say that that's art. It has a different meaning to everybody. If 100 people were to watch this game, they might have 100 different feelings and reactions to it. And I think that speaks a lot into, like, all of those things, everything that goes into it, the work, the low moments, the high moments, what's happening with a team, a player having a moment, all of those things. I think it could mean so many different things to so many different people. And I think art is similar to that. I've told people I've seen pieces of art where people are like, you got to get into art. And I'm looking at it like, I don't even know what the hell that is. And why is this an expensive piece of art, And I'm looking at it and I can still make a lot of it. And I think some people see the value in it. They see the power in it. And I'm sure it's hundreds of people that, would say the same thing. So I think basketball or a game like this could be seen the same way.
Where do you see the art in this particular game from your eyes?
For me, I just think it's beauty in it because of where we are as a team, for one. I think because of what I represent, and what I put into the game, how I handle myself, how I handle success. I think because of the history of me, and what I do, I think that's the beauty of art like this, People know I have big performances, but they love these moments. My teammates love these moments when it happens. I do the work, man. I do things the right way. I make sure I put my time in. I go out there and do it for the right reasons. And, I think because so many people have witnessed what happens before these performances happen, they appreciate this, as that type of art, and that's why it means something to me.
Along those lines, you have 41 in the first half, and then don't even shoot for almost the first half of the third quarter. What was going through your mind, and why did you approach it like that?
I was super aggressive the whole first half, and then towards the end of the second quarter, they started to play different types of defenses, but I had my mind made up that I was going to keep attacking them, regardless. I had it going. And in the third quarter, they just sold out. I was bringing the ball up, I think, the first possession, and I wasn't even to half court yet. They just ran a guy at me. And I think, when a team presents that type of defense, you got to just accept it and embrace it, and then that's where you got to depend on, your teammates to take them out of that type of coverage. And Matisse, one time I attacked him, Matisse cut, got a dunk. A couple times I just let him come to me. I hit Matisse, he hit a couple threes. I hit T. Watt in the pocket one time. He hit Barry for a wide open three. I think Barry missed it. But I think when you show a team that, I'll give it up. And I think they saw how clean the looks that we were getting during that time. Drew got fouled a few times. It was like, we're not going to get back in the game playing this way either, So I just was patient with that. I wasn't like, I'm going to get 70 tonight. I just kind of I was playing to keep the lead instead of playing to score a bunch of points. And they went back to their normal coverages. And I think typically I would just be like, okay, back to normal coverages, let's keep going. But as soon as they went back to the normal coverage, I went back at it again. And then when they got aggressive again, I kind of played in between. I would give it up, and then sometimes I would attack the double team because once I got past the double team, it was two people, out near half court, and now we was playing with an even bigger advantage. So that's just how I played it. I accepted the double, and then I would be aggressive against it, and then I would just, get rid of the ball. And I think that's really what allowed me to kind of keep going.
Something you talked about a couple months ago when you were I think it was the night they had the ceremony here for the scoring record. You were talking about how you don't really like having everybody paying attention to you for individual stuff or being the center of attention like that. Like, do you like it? A night like tonight, career high, holding up the 71. Like, do you like that? How do you feel about that kind of thing now?
I mean, when the game is happening, I'm playing the game. Like I'm going to take them out. So like when it's happening in the game, I usually embrace it. Like I enjoy those moments in the game when I'm just going after people when I'm in attack mode. I think any hooper enjoys those moments. Where you hot and you in attack mode, you feeling good. But it's the stuff afterward that I struggle with. Like when I walked off the court, I was like, am I supposed to be like overly excited or what? You know what I mean? I just high-fived everybody, but those are the moments I struggle with. But I mean, that was it. Like it's funny you said that because when we walked in the locker room, I was just like, I don't even want to hold this paper up. Like I already know people expecting it, but I was like. Usually when I had those type of games or when I got my career high, in the past, Jim Taylor would always make me do it. So I was like, man, I'm going to do it, for Jim Taylor. So I sat there and did it, you know what I mean? And, that was that. But I live for the moments, where I'm taking over and dominating games, but I don't live for, the stuff that comes afterwards.
What was your reaction when you got drug tested?
I mean, honestly, I was like, are y'all serious? Like, I did the urine test yesterday, and then they backed it up with the blood draw tonight after the game. That's actually my first time in my career being tested after a game. And then aside from that, they know that I'm scared of needles. So I know I got a lot of tattoos, but when you're doing a blood draw, it's different than tattoos. But it brought me down from here to the floor. All the way until it was done. And then once I finished it, I was like, all right, I got that out the way. So I felt way better afterwards.
Typically, how often does a player get tested in a year?
4 times a year.
4 times a year?
I think it's 4 urine tests, 2 blood tests a year.
Dame, you had said that going into this stretch after the break, the team need to be real militant in their kind of mindset. What do you mean by that?
I mean, I think we got to be unbreakable. That doesn't mean it's always going to go right or it's always going to be fun. We just got to, whatever happens, we just got to keep marching forward. We're going to be in some dog fights. We're going to be in some tough games. We can't look at a game like tonight and say, oh, we playing Houston, we supposed to win. It's like, no, we got to go out there and our back against the wall every night. It don't matter if it's a team we should beat, a team people think we can't beat. Our mentality has to be like, nobody's going to beat us before we get in the ring. You're going to beat us when we get in the ring. And I think our energy and the way we go about it has to be militant. We got to go out there and be ready for battle, regardless of who it is or what's supposed to happen. We need to win games. And we're not going to go undefeated, but, we got to go out there and give ourselves a chance every night. And I think our mentality and the way we approach it is something that's going to give us a good chance to do that.
Dave, you talked a lot in your career about how the rings culture is more to do performances like this and the value of the regular season, the special moments. Does it, in your mind, does it enhance like the journey before getting to that mountain?
Definitely. I mean, I don't want to minimize what it means to win a ring. That's what we play the game to do. But I think it's a lot of power in my story, just my entire life. I think that's a story that's been told so many times, and people know how much I embrace my story and being an underdog. But I think the big takeaway for me is like the most fun that I've had and the thing that I get the most emotional about is the journey. Like, I love telling my draft story and my last 2 years at Weber and everything that I went through. Like, I love it because it was real. It was like those are the moments that make you. And I think just the journey of bonding with your teammates and, the ups and downs and wins and losses and having success, that's as much as we glorify the end and the last team and winning the championship, and rightfully so. When our careers are over, you know, if you play, you know, 10, 11 years in the NBA, it's going to be, you know, in the last 10, 11 years, it's probably been how many? 4 champions, 4 different teams that have won a championship. So, I mean, the reality of it is everybody's not gonna win it. But that doesn't mean you throw out, you know, the moments on the plane, the moments on the bus, you know, being in the locker room, being on the bench and in the huddle when we're doing our jobs, because we do it 82 times before the playoffs and before any of those other things. So you don't throw that shit out the window like it means nothing. It means a lot because we work our whole lives to be a part of this. And, you know, I don't take that for granted, you know, and I don't think it's something that doesn't count. It counts, you know, regardless of if it's a major performance or if it's just a hard-fought win, you know. Like, I think about our 4 overtime game against Denver. Like, none of us played great. I think CJ had 40 with 40 shots. And we was all tired and couldn't make a shot, but it was like the moments in those huddles and in the locker room afterwards where it was like you feel that connection and that bond and how much it means to everybody. Like, that's what it's really about, you know. And you just hope to have enough of those moments and then win the championship too. You know, like that's what it's about.
Dame, early on, it seemed like the crowd could sense that this could be a special night. Could you sense that, one, from them, and then also just two, that, hey, I'm doing something unique?
I mean, what's crazy is before the game, I was standing at half court with Joe, and we was about to do the little thing about the three-point contest. And he looked around and he said, like, the crowd is crazy in here tonight. And I turned to him and I said, that's because they're expecting a run. Like, they excited for something. Like, I literally said that was our interaction, and then we walked the half court. And the game started, and I remember after my second three-pointer, I hit the second three, and, like, it just felt like something. Like, that didn't make me try, but, like, it just felt like something. When I ran back, it was like a loud cheer, you know? Almost like the crowd was like, oh, something is getting started, you know?
Does that fuel you at all or help you at all?
I mean, I think the game fuels me. Like, I do hear the crowd, and it does energize our team. Like, I definitely take something away from it, but, like, I'm one of those people that, like, I don't look into the crowd. Like, I don't see, like, sometimes I look over at my brother when I get hot. Like, he'll be staring at me, and I'll look at my brother. But, like, I don't look into the crowd much. And I'm kind of, like, listening to their coach and looking at who's here and what's there. Like, I'm, like, locked into the game. But I do hear the crowd. But for me, it's, like, the stuff that happens within the game is what really charged me up.
What's your post-game celebration going to look like?
The second season of Bel Air just came back on, so me and my wife talked about watching that together. So I wanted to start it already, but we ain't been able to watch it at the same time. So she was like, "Don't watch without me." So we scheduled that yesterday.
Oh, man.
You know,
Dang, it's been a special week for you, winning the three-point contest and making a great music video on the plane with your teammates that blew up with 4.4 million views, and then of course tonight 71 points. Just how much do you cherish these moments with your teammates and with your team? And of course, how special it is to do it in front of the home crowd.
it's always special to do it in front of the home crowd. You know, I think the home crowd will appreciate it more than any crowd you play in front of. So it's always a pleasure to have these types of moments at home. But I mean, I can't express how much it means and how much I enjoy just being a part of a team. You know, I think that's something that just doesn't get talked about enough because, you know, the stars get talked about as the stars. You don't talk about, like, the team aspect of it and, like, just being a part of a team and how much time we spend together. Like, these really, you got obviously your best friends and your closest family members or whatever, but, like, this is my 11th season in the NBA, and I don't spend more time with anybody, you know, other than my teammates. I spend most of my time with them. So, like, it's, you know, I don't think it's talked about enough how much it means just to be a part of a team. You know, a lot of people, you know, a lot of you guys are a part of a team, and y'all spend a lot of time with those people, and they become your best friends in life. But for us, I think people don't understand it. It's the same, you know. So, you know, it's a joy to be a part of our team.